Hello, Adam here at MIEZARUTE Art School. Today we're going to visit artist Ryan Gander's solo exhibition, Markers of Our Time, at Tokyo Opera City Art Gallery in Tokyo, Japan. Ryan Gander was born in 1976 in the UK and works in many different ways, including photography, painting, installation and sculpture. Artist Ryan Gander starts his work in many cases by noticing things that we take for granted in everyday life, and his works inspire questions, curiosity and creativity in the viewer. Let's go explore! So we're in the lobby now. What are these black rectangles on the floor? They're silhouettes of something, right? So this work is called What You Lack in Poetry, You Cannot Make Up For in Ambition. Black vinyl shapes depicting silhouettes of currency and boarding passes. We were right. All these rectangles are leading us into the main gallery space. We're in the main room proper. And what do you notice about this room? Well, the first thing I notice is the colour. There's a limited colour palette in this first room. And this ties in really well with Ryan Gander's intention to treat the space as one entire work. Let's have a closer look at some of the work in this room. We have a human figure, and the figure is looking at a block which seems to be made from the same material that it's made from. This work is called Bit Part Player, Thaisa Pericles, Act 5, Scene 3. It's a life-size figurative sculpture cast in graphite depicting a bit part actress waiting to perform. And this figure, made from graphite, is looking at a cube made in the same material. What do you think about this? For one, I'm imagining the graphite performer has been dancing around the space, leaving these dirty smears on the walls, and although I read the form on the left as being more human than the cube on the right, the fact that they're both made from the same material means that one is no more human than the other. This looks very much like the work of Donald Judd. What are these LED progress bars on the side? These works are called waiting sculpture. Yes, the progress bars mark out how long it takes to do certain activities. The average time spent on Instagram daily by an individual to the average time it takes for an 18-year-old male to reach orgasm. This minimalist sculpture that it seems to refer to, that was all about resisting performance, refusing the theatrical, but this work brings in a sense of time and draws the viewer in to contemplate it in a very different manner. We have a stainless steel sculpture of a clock called Chronos Kairos 19.04, but we have two clock faces overlaid on each other, making you feel like you got double vision. You know that saying, even a stopped clock is right twice a day? Well, this one has no hands, making it a truly timeless sculpture. Here's another sculpture of a person. Why is the sculpture made of graphite? Why the marks on the white gallery walls? Why is the sculpture wearing white clothes? And does the fact that it's wearing white clothes bother you? You know, considering the classical notions of what a sculpture should be like? And then we look at the title. Bit Part Player, Balthazar, Merchant of Venice, Act 3, Scene 4. Are you familiar with the Merchant of Venice? Do you know if there's any connection between Act 3, Scene 4 and this sculpture? So many questions. But are you going to take time to consider these questions? Boom! Look at that! So you've got this shiny sculptural form that looks like it's fallen from the sky and smashed through this plinth. And it's so reflective. It's called Because Editorial is Costly, and it's a giant swollen mirror finished stainless steel version of Rapport de Volumes 1919 by Georges Vantongerlou. Do you know that artist? And I noticed a lot of the works in this exhibition are in museum collections and gallery collections in Japan. Why is Ryan Gander and his work so popular here in Japan? What do you think? probably Gander's most famous piece. We have here a couple of pairs of animatronic eyes that go through a whole cycle of different expressions. The eyes really do follow you around the room with this work. But I've never checked the title of this work before. Let's have a look. Magnus Opus. Ah, get it? It's a play on the expression magnum opus, which means an artist's most important work, with Magnus being a man's name. It's a pun, basically. You see, Ryan Gander isn't averse to having a bit of a laugh and a joke with his work. Videoing was not allowed in this exhibition, and that's why I'm showing you stills today. That means that a work like this isn't really shown to its full. You can't see the animation, the movement of these circles as random drips created by an algorithm. Regardless of whether I can show you video or not, I think the text next to it was in a way far more interesting and illuminating, and giving you a sense of Ryan Gander's attitude to the audience. I quote, "I'd like to toast spectators who believe in the work that artists do, who spend time with it and invest energy and curiosity into completing that grand equation." Look at this hole. Well, you can't see the movement here, but what happened with this work is that a bundle of Japanese banknotes are moving around as if a small mouse has got them in its mouth. And this is one of several works which seem to be really popular with viewers in this exhibition. Oh, and the title of this is "I'm Never Coming Back to Osaka Again." I wonder what went on in Osaka. What do you think? This is one of the largest works in the exhibition, and it certainly has one of the longest titles. Let's see if I can get this right. Fractured natural sign, the majority stood silently distracted, eyes fixed on the moon, whilst a minority of others were incensed to paint signs. Whew. It says in the description that this work depicts the moon as seen by Ryan Gander from his studio. It's also painted on Japanese denim, so the material ties in with the location of this exhibition. But the question I have is, why do you think the panels have been hung out of order so the moon is fragmented? In front of the large moon work, we've got this piece called "In the Very Beginning Before Words There Were" from 2021, and it's cold cast bronze and black wax. So we have sticks, logs and rocks all arranged in the gallery space. Now the thing with this work is that the person installing it can decide on its arrangement. If you were in charge of setting up this exhibition, how would you arrange this work in the space? So what do we associate with blackboards and chalk? Schools? And we've got a couple of diagrams. What are these diagrams of? It's an architectural diagram of the new school of art and design, designed by the artist Ryan Gander. So what is the new school of art and design? Down on the floor we have an antique framed etching of Galileo. Oh, the title of this work is "The World No Longer Revolves Around You." I think to be able to fully appreciate this work, it would certainly help to know what this new school of art and design is, and certainly would help to know a little bit more about Galileo than just the fact that his name features in the song Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. So here we've got a chair, and it looks like quite a fancy chair. But again, we have one of these moments. Is this an artwork? Let's take a look. We've got what looks like a little mosquito, and it's twitching around like it's in its death throes. We have a look at the text, and this is an animatronic sculpture of a tiny mosquito that's been set on a chair designed by Frank Lloyd Wright and Arata Endo. What's the connection between the mosquito and this chair? I can't say, but we're still left with this uncanny representation of an insect, which, even without knowing the connections to this work, holds one's interest. As promised, another animatronic mouse. This one sleeping away, curled up in the corner, called Take Confidence in Your Abilities. And although we don't see it in this still image, the mouse almost imperceptibly is breathing, its little body going up and down with each tiny breath. Oh, a crumpled piece of paper on the floor. And I waited. Someone came, gave a little look to the invigilator nodded, and he picked up the paper. The invigilator dropped another piece of paper, so of course I went and picked one up. And this work is called Letter to a Young Artist, a crumpled letter handwritten by the artist addressing an unidentified young artist. This one's a work called Time Well Spent, and inside you can see rocks with watches and other objects wrapped around them that vend for 29,999 yen per object. But the day I went there was a sign saying that it wasn't working. If anyone out there went to the exhibition on another day, it'd be great to know how you got on with it. There are many artists who have turned their studio into subject for their work, and Ryan Gander has done the same, including this one here called View from the Studio Window, 5th of October 2017. It's a reproduction of the view from his studio window on that particular day. If you made a work through or of a particular window, which window would you choose and why? And here's a snow globe, but no matter how close we get, we can't see what's in it. It's called a snow globe that never stops snowing, attempting to keep the prefrontal cortex online. Can you make out what's in this snow globe? No, not quite. What do you think it might be? The digital images are called Make Everything Like It's Your Last, and the video is called Imagineering. And these posters and this commercial are an advert to promote the use of imagination in the British public. And they were created by a commercial advertising agency as if commissioned by the British government's Department for Business, Innovation and Skills. And this really excited me. What role does imagination play in your life? Were you encouraged to use your imagination at school? And how can the power of imagination make a positive change in your life and the lives of those around you? And here we are with the final work, Only a Matter of Time. Ryan Gander revisited a BBC documentary he made called Me, My Selfie and I. He animated different masks over his face in each scene based on the faces from prominent paintings in art history. And in this exhibition we can see that Ryan Gander wears many different masks, and we've only touched on a fraction of the works in this exhibition. So if you have the chance to visit an exhibition of Ryan Gander's work, please go and check it out. If you like this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to see more from MIEZARUTE Art School. Thanks again, and see you next time.